Hello students, welcome to the EPG Pathshala. I am Renu Arora, former head Education and Training Division, CSIR, NISCARE, New Delhi. Today I am going to talk about the module Sources for Current Information and Overview. This is from the paper Information Sources, Systems and Services. In this module, we will cover sources for current information. Information requirements of users may be current, background, general, detailed, research, statistics or opinions. But for each query, available sources need to be consulted. Current refers to most recent or published within the past 1 year or so. This module identifies potential sources of information for societal and library trends so that current information requirements of the users are taken care of by the library and information organizations. After reading this module, you will be able to get acquainted with need for current information, difference between current information and current awareness. You will be able to list various information sources for current information, understand the importance of web as a source of information, explain the use of different e-resources as sources of current information, and describe and give examples of sources for current information. Before learning about current information sources, let us first understand what is current information. Library information science professionals have to find out ways to make modern libraries relevant in today's fast changing environment. One method to do this is to acquire or have access to information sources that satisfy the current information requirements of their users. Now, what is current information? Current information can be from any source, for example, from books, journal articles, expert opinion, encyclopedias, patents, standards, medias, blogs, personal experience, or from web pages. The type of information a user needs will change depending on the questions asked and efforts to answer these questions. That is when current information is required. Sources for current information refer to any publication, website, or other item that can make available desired information. These information sources include periodical articles, newspapers, books, websites, reference sources, etc. Stop. Let us understand the difference between current awareness and current information. Current awareness is the form commonly used to describe the process of keeping up to date with information. It is defined as a system and often a publication for notifying current documents to the users of libraries and information services. Current awareness is referred to as the process of keeping up to date, and current awareness services are systems for notifying users about the current documents or information. Sources for current information, on the other hand, are contemporary resources that have been created, published, or updated recently enough to be considered up to date. For current information need, one may not require latest information always, as many times information users may require retrospective resources. The only idea here is that whenever a user immediately wants any information, it becomes kind of current for that particular user. So it is referred to as current information, and any source that provides that current information is referred to as the current information source. Need for current information. To ensure that the academic discussions are engaging, relevant, and reliable, there is need for various information sources that need not necessarily be recently brought out. it has to be remembered that one needs information not just for study purposes but for most decisions in everyday life. The current information is usually available from information sources that may not be recently published. So, one needs information for any activity. As I have already said, it need not only be for study or research but for other decisions in day-to-day life. We make decisions every day, whether it is to buy a cell phone, an appliance, a house, or do a project or assignment. For this, information is needed to make good or and sound decisions. Every information literate person requires information for various activities. So all this necessitates or leads to a need for current information. In this module, we are going to discuss, therefore, the sources for current information. Let's now know about the sources for current information. Any source that satisfies the immediate information need of a user or the current information need of a user is referred to as a current information source. And sources for current information approach are plenty and varied. These can be documentary sources or non-documentary sources. In documentary category, these could be primary, secondary or tertiary sources, and in non-documentary sources, it could be human sources as well, institutions, or it could even be the electronic sources. So, some of the sources for satisfying current information approach are firstly encyclopedias, dictionaries and directories or many other reference sources. Then books are also a big information source in order to satisfy the current information approach. And of course, for scientific community, etc., periodicals are the source that satisfies the current information approach. Another source is conference proceedings because the conference papers always offer the latest research findings, etc. Then there are standards, patents, and trade catalogues which take care of the users requiring information regarding engineering or industry, etc. Latest databases, including the electronic databases, are another source that satisfies the current approach. Then for the current information, that is the latest information, the newspapers or magazines may offer a solution. Government publications are one of their own kind, and for any kind of government information, it is the government publications that are offering the current information. Besides that, on various topics, research has taken place and people have published their dissertation or thesis. So, that could be another source of information. For a large number of users, the library catalog acts as a current source of information. Besides that, the huge web, it contains a reservoir of knowledge that acts as a big current information source. And then lastly, the humans as sources of information. All categories of humans may give some information in some way or another. Let's examine the role of encyclopedias, dictionaries, and directories as sources for current information. Encyclopedias are important sources to consider when initially researching a topic. General encyclopedias provide basic information on a wide range of subjects in an easily readable and understandable format. Encyclopedias are considered to be good for fact-finding, getting general background information about a subject, or starting a research project. For example, McGraw-Hill Encyclopedia of Science and Technology is a subject encyclopedia. On the other hand, the Word Book, it is a journal encyclopedia and it is also available online. There are the general encyclopedias and the subject encyclopedias, and they differ as to the level of detail provided and the complexity of the writing. The second category, that is dictionaries. Standard dictionaries give an alphabetical list of words and their definitions, but there are several useful variations also classified as dictionaries. It has to be remembered that the dictionaries are different from thesaurus or thesauri, which contain synonyms and antonyms, that is, the opposites, but usually do not define the words. Example of an online dictionary is Merriam-Webster Dictionary, which is a general dictionary. And another example is a dictionary of physics, which is a subject dictionary. Then the third category is the directories. A directory is a list of names and addresses of people and organizations. Directories are ready reference tools in the libraries that provide information related to individuals, organizations, institutions, etc. Directories are broadly categorized as general directories and special directories. An example of general directories is the telephone directory, and an example of special directory are the professional, trade and business directories. Let's now examine role of books as current sources of information. Books are usually most authoritative sources of information as they provide in-depth coverage of a subject, and all the chapters of the book are giving a continuous treatment to the subject along with appropriate references, etc. Books cover virtually any topic, fact or fiction, and are the best sources when looking for lots of information or detailed information on a topic, for broad overview, for historical perspective on a topic, or to put the topic in context with other important related issues. As books contain lot of information, they can provide an in-depth treatment to a topic or aspect of a topic. The information contained in books usually may not be as timely as in periodicals, as periodicals are giving the current information in their articles, but the books are not as current as journal articles. And however, they usually contain citations and a bibliography and figures which can be used to identify other useful references. For scientific community, academic community, researchers, etc., periodicals or journals are one of the best sources of current information. So, periodicals are publications that are published regularly and cover varied topics in their issues, and normally they have topical issues, they cover latest research, reviews of current literature, etc. The other names given for periodicals are serials, journals, and many times magazines too. Periodical articles are useful for very current information or for information on a very specific and specialized topic. They are the best source for new or current information as they provide more current information and are published more frequently than books. In large academic libraries as well as in R&D libraries, we find huge periodical collection because in the particular concerned subject area, periodicals are published, and regular supply of periodical issues ensures that the current information approach is maintained. Next source in this category are the conference proceedings. A conference is a meeting where people in specific subject fields get together and share information by having discussions, presenting papers, posters, etc. There are hundreds and thousands of conferences held every year all over the world. Reports or proceedings of a conference provide information about a conference and are also published in the form of papers that are presented in the conference. These are referred to as conference papers. Conference papers and proceedings can provide very useful information. They usually contain the latest and newest research and findings by specialists in a particular area, and then whatever has been taken place in discussions may also be included in these conference proceedings. The papers from conferences organized by learned societies or associations, sometimes referred to as symposia or workshop, are often published as proceedings of the particular conference. They are usually published in book format, sometimes in a number of volumes, depending on how many papers were presented or submitted. These are usually useful sources of current information as they present research at an early stage before journal articles have been published. Standard patents and trade catalogues are also current sources of information. A standard is a document that provides rule or guidelines to achieve order in a given context. Standards are documents prepared by an authority to specify a product, material, process, quality, etc. Initially used first for industrial products, these later began being used by services sector. The purpose of standards is to maintain quality control and efficiency. Standards provide guidelines for standardization in products and activities. Standards also enable us to exchange products or services with other organizations. Next are patents. Patent is an exclusive right granted for an invention, which is a product or a process that provides in a general way a new way of doing something or offers a new technical solution to a problem. It means to protect the intellectual property rights. Patents are considered a unique source of information for scientific and technical information because a granted patent gives the patentee an exclusive rights over his or her invention, and he or she is able to try to stop anyone who uses it without permission. Last in the category are the trade catalogues, which are lists or catalogues brought out by the publishers, manufacturers, and distributors of various types of materials, products, or services. These cover every kind of material, product, or service ranging from books, drugs, chemicals, household goods, to complex machinery and equipment used in research and industry. The basic purpose of this type of trade literature is to describe various attributes of the product, material, or service and promote its sale to the potential customers. They are usually only source of information that is reported about specific commercial products and is not likely to be published in any other form of literature. When we talk about databases, these are in the present day context usually electronic database. A database contains citations of articles in magazines, journals, and newspapers. They may also contain citations to podcasts, blogs, videos, and other media types. Some databases contain abstracts or brief summaries of the articles, while other databases contain complete information, full text articles, etc. Many of the periodicals, that is magazines, newspapers, journals, that used to be on the library's physical shelves can now be found in libraries' in-house databases. These databases are organized specifically for researchers to enable quick retrieval of books and journal articles that are required by a large number of users. Also, some library databases contain electronic books also, electronic reports also. Some periodical databases contain abstracts or brief summaries of the articles. Many contain the full text, that is, the entire content of the articles as they originally appeared in the printed periodicals. Online periodical databases purchased by the libraries are accessible from the library homepage. So databases contain huge amount of data and information and are very useful for having access to current information and satisfied the current information approach of the library users. Newspapers as sources of current information. A newspaper is a collection of articles about current events usually published daily. As these are published daily and in almost every major city, these are a great source for local information. Newspapers are a useful information source to find current information about local, national, and international events. They also contain editorials, commentaries, expert or popular opinions, and reviews on different published publications or different topics. The articles are usually topical and current, written by journalists for the general public. Newspapers might be considered for discussion of current trends and issues. Presently, most of the newspapers are also accessible online. Some of the examples are Times of India, New York Times, Business Standard, etc. Government publications as current sources of information. A government publication is defined as an item published under the authority of a governmental agency. These publications are issued by local, state, national, or international governments. Government information includes annual reports, plan documents, budget documents, laws, regulations, statistics, census reports, directories, consumer information, and much more. Government information is usually considered to be highly reliable, as it is the only source of a particular information and it is usually issued by a government agency. Many times, several amendments are also issued by the government, which are not available otherwise from anywhere else. For example, Indian government publications are available from Government of India's publications portal, which is http india.gov.in/my-government-publications. Dissertations and Theses. A dissertation or thesis is a document submitted in support of an academic degree presenting the author's research and findings. Its purpose is to inform and present scholarly information. This category of documents are usually collected by academic or special libraries as they contain results of original research. In present times, besides a printed copy, most of the dissertations are also submitted in electronic format. A thesis or dissertation can be new data on an important issue, an innovative data collection method, and analysis of existing data sets in new ways to answer new and important questions, or a derivation of new research methods and a demonstration of their usefulness. The objective of dissertations or thesis is to help the students learn how to think through and investigate a research query or a question. The thesis or dissertation should show competence in the development, implementation, and reporting of a research project. And this actually acts as a very, very major source of current information for researchers. When we talk about current approach to information and library information access tools, library catalog is the best source for current information. A library catalog is a listing of all the items held by a particular library. It is an organized and searchable collection of records of every item in a library and can be found on the library premises or on the library's homepage. The catalog enables users to find out what the items of the library owns on the a given topic. It also points to the location of the particular source or group of sources that the library owns on the required topic. Most of the modern libraries have computerized catalogs. It is referred to as OPAC or Online Public Access Catalog. A catalog examines the items, that is books, videos, maps, audio tapes, CDs, etc., and decides how they will be described in the library's catalog, and under that subject they will be classified. When the items are entered into the library's online catalog database, information is entered into the different fields which are then searchable by users. In the library premises, computerized catalog is referred to as OPAC, that is Online Public Access Catalog. The web. Of late, the web is also useful as current source of information. This is because the web offers a variety of information, including that found in other information sources such as directories or magazines, as well as for different information needs, which could be current, historical, research, secondary or primary sources. Information from web is accessible through the internet or electronic material, that is e-resources or social media. There are no standards or expertise required for publishing on the web. So information found in the web needs to be evaluated carefully. The currency of information depends upon the author of the page or site. Some sites are updated daily or more frequently, while others are not kept up to date. Also, accuracy or authority of websites, if not by reputed organizations, are also in question. So we have to be careful while selecting information from the web, and we have to check for authenticity and reliability of the contents available on the web. Let's now know about electronic material. Books and articles are traditionally thought of as print sources of the libraries, but now with the internet access, many printed resources are available electronically. Regardless of whether content appears in print or electronic format, it is important that we are able to access whether it is reliable or authoritative. Electronic material in the libraries have several advantages over print material. Some of these are: information may be updated easily, often up to the minute information is available, may be keyword searchable, may be accessed outside the library, multiple users can at the same time have access to the same information, it can be easily printed, downloaded, or manipulated information available. So, electronic media has plenty of advantages over the print media, and it is very easy to carry because we are concerned with carrying the physical information if we have it in print form, but it's easily transportable and can easily be carried from one place to another. Let's examine categories of e-resources or electronic resources. These can be electronic journals, electronic books referred to as e-books, electronic databases, and other electronic material which could be e-newsletters, e-reports, e-theses or e-dissertations, and institutional repositories. Social media. Social media is defined as forms of electronic communication as websites for social networking and microblogging, through which users create online communities to share information, ideas, personal messages, and other contents. For example, videos. Social media has become increasingly popular among different user groups. Although used for social purposes, some social media platforms, for example, Wikipedia, have been emerging as important information sources of current information. Regular media is a one-way process where we can read a newspaper or listen to a report on television, but have very limited ability to convey our thoughts on the matter. Social media, on the other hand, is a two-way process that gives us the ability to communicate also. Some of the examples of social media websites are: firstly, social bookmarking. Here we can interact by tagging websites and searching through websites bookmarked by other people. Examples are Simpy, Blinklist, etc. Social news. We can interact by voting for articles and commenting on them. Examples are Dig, Mix, Reddit. Social networking. In this case, we can interact by adding friends, commenting on profiles, joining groups, and have discussions. Examples are Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. Social photo and video sharing. Here we can interact by sharing photos or videos and commenting on user submissions. Examples are YouTube, Flickr, etc. Besides this, there is another category which is referred to as wikis. Examples are Wikipedia, Wikia, etc. Here we can interact by adding articles and editing existing articles. Almost all the information on any topic is available in wikis usually. Research into everyday information seeking behavior of most of the library users has revealed that people ask other people for a lot of information. This means that at times, for some exclusive information, a particular person is objectively the best source. So, in view of this, we have humans also acting as sources of current information. In other words, like organizations, people too can be sources of information. Human beings are considered an important source of information as the educational background, knowledge, experience, maturity, and exposure to various situations of people can make them authority on certain topics. This is because in many established situations, only human beings can make available certain information for use by various categories of users. And there are several categories of people who serve as information sources. For example, peers, consultants, technological gatekeepers, invisible colleges, common people, etc. So, we have seen in this module the need for current sources of information. Let's now conclude with saying that in this module, need for information sources that have satisfied the current information requirement of users has been highlighted. Current information requirement is completely different from the current awareness services offered by the library. Need for current information refers to satisfying immediate information requirement of a user, which is not always latest information, but many times users may require retrospective resources as well. So we have seen that the current information always is of huge value to any kind of users. The other details are provided in the e-course material, and references and web references are also provided in your e-course material. Thank you.